Welcome back to another episode. So today I would like to talk about this trash talking that's going on YouTube. The content creators, photography content creators, are engaging in some rather low-level activity. Okay, and it's really bad for the community at large when we start calling each other out by name and start slandering each other's character. Okay, so I'll talk about some of the things that are going on here. Okay, so let's talk about some of the major concerns. One of the first concerns is no content. So you might have a reviewer who's reviewing lenses or camera bodies and so forth, but they never show photos. Okay, but now there's two approaches to that. You can have faith, right, which is what I do. Even though a certain reviewer will never show images, I have faith in that person because I believe the person knows what he is talking about. Okay. Or you could be from, like in the United States, the state of Missouri. It's called the show me state. So your word is not good enough, show me. Now if you're of that variety, you're more than entitled to that. But I'm saying I personally, sometimes it requires a leap of faith on your part to believe what the person is telling you, whether they're knowledgeable in their area or not knowledgeable. That's up for you to decide. So again, I have no problems with reviewers never showing me any images. Another criticism they're calling each other out for is they do show content, they do show their photos, but the photos are not up to par, they're not of a professional quality. So maybe the composition is off, that the exposure might be off, whatever the case may be, that the photos are not up to professional quality. Again, I have no problem with that. Just as me personally, I am willing to grant people acceptance at my age. Okay, I'm a little bit older, and I understand that human beings are imperfect, right? You're not going to find a perfect person, and if you're looking for perfection, you're on a fool's errand because you will never find that in another person. So so what I'm saying is people come to the table with baggage, okay? And some of that baggage might be in the terms of photography. The photos might not be like, at a 100 out of 100. They might be 80 out of 100, 90 out of 100. Whatever the case may be, is I'm willing to grant an exception because I don't expect perfection in other people, okay? So no problem. And so the last one is people do show their content, they do show photos, and I can think of one person in particular, and again, I'm not going to name the person because I would be engaging in the same thing that I'm talking about. So they have content, and it's awesome. Their content is awesome. As a matter of fact, there are two photographers that I can think of, but they're pretty terrible as human beings. I mean, when you watch their reviews, they show their images and they're great, but they're just, everything out of their mouth is just toxic. It's just cancerous venom, right? This hate that they spew. So, and as you know, what's funny is, so when we talk about photography, it would seem on its surface the most critical criteria of the three would be photographers who have great content. But it's not the case, because again, if nothing is coming out of their mouths except toxicity and hatred and this discomfort, right? This maladjustment, it almost seems like they're maladjusted. And I have no interest in watching the channel. I watched each of these photographers I'm talking about. They're both very well known. I've watched one video from each of them, and I couldn't bear to watch another one. It was just so toxic. So would you rather watch a toxic human being spew hate and all this venom and look at good photos, or would you rather sit through something that's pleasant and maybe their photos aren't great? So again, it's your call to make. I know what I prefer. I prefer to watch somebody who isn't spewing all this toxicity. So I'm just going to sum it up. This is going to be a very brief video. So actually there's two more points I want to talk about. So what is the end state of this? So when content creators trash talk each other, of course it's buzz. They're trying to create buzz. They're trying to generate this traffic to their channel. Oh, did you hear about so-and-so? He really called out so-and-so today. Wow, let's see what he has to say. And it's the end state, END. The end state of that is terminal. You can never benefit from that, really. It's just toxic, and it's the wrong approach. So again, I'm a big fan in my capacity. What I do in the military, it involves some diplomacy and statecraft, okay? And I've just realized at my age, you can get a lot farther. There's no saying you can attract a lot more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. And I think that's a pretty good saying to live by, because you know, when you start taking a cleaver and you start cleaving relationships, right? You start shattering relationships. It never ends well. It's always far more important to build and maintain relationships than it is to destroy them. So that's why it's the road that these certain content creators on. It's a bad road to be on, and it's not going to end well for them. If you look at their thumbs down ratings, these certain photographers that I'm talking about, the one I care for very much, I really hold this guy in high regard. But if I look, and I'm looking at the thumbs up and thumbs down, right, on YouTube, over time, right, it's the thumbs down is way up. Sometimes it's 2 to 1. There's a 2 to 1 ratio, which is hard. If you're a content creator, let's talk about this. A safe zone to be in is about 10 to 1. Okay, so if you have 100 likes, it's pretty safe if you have 10 dislikes. Okay, 10 to 1 ratio. If you're 2 to 1, your audience is talking to you. Your audience is talking to you and telling you, we don't like the road that you're traveling. You're on the wrong path. Okay, so as a content creator, you have to look at thumbs up and thumbs down. Now you can say, I'm going to tell it like it is, and let the chips fall where they may. And if you take that course of action, then you understand you're on a path of doom. When your like to dislike ratio is 2 to 1, your audience is telling you, we don't like the path that you're on. And as a content creator, you need to pay attention to that and kind of correct, right? I always say glide path. Correct your glide path because you're off glide path. Okay, and I'm going to talk about Ted Forbes. So even some of these people are criticizing Ted Forbes, and Ted Forbes is an absolute gem, right? G-E-M. I say this, and I mean this. My channel could go away, and it wouldn't harm the photography community. Every other content creator's channel can fold tomorrow, and it will not have an impact on photography. But Ted Forbes' channel is in singularity, is the only channel in all of YouTube that's indispensable, because he's an archivist. He's the keeper of the flame. And again, some of these same people are criticizing his portfolio. Ted is not coming at us as so much with his portfolio. He is, right, I think he holds an MFA, Master of Fine Arts in Photography. He was a curator at the Dallas Museum of Art. He quit his job to bring us his content, right? So just think of the leap of faith that it took on his part to quit his job in order to bring us the wonderful content that he does. It's very high caliber. The production value is high caliber. He knows what he's talking about. He spends a lot on gear and books. He shows us these books. So he's got a lot of investment in his channel. And to criticize Ted Forbes, I was watching a video yesterday or the day before. Now listen to this. Now you talk about the community writ large. He had 485 likes, 0 dislikes. Tell me, in all of YouTube, whether it's a music video, whatever genre, knitting, crocheting, cooking, baking, what content creator has a ratio of 500 to 0? It's unheard of. And I said 10 to 1 is pretty safe. If you have 100 likes and 10 dislikes, you're doing good. Ted Forbes had 485 to 0, and you're going to criticize him? It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. So again, I would say there are some people who, again, there are a lot of people who are fair game, but I truly believe Ted Forbes is a non-combatant. He's right, you know, he's not fair game, and he is the one and only person, photography content creator on YouTube, that's off limits. Nobody should be taking shots at Ted Forbes for all he's done for the community. Okay, and I wanted to end it on a light note. So here's what this reminds me, this stupid, and it's really stupid, this turf war we're almost in. It reminds me of the rap scene in the 1990s when we had the East Coast versus West Coast, right? Tupac was killed in 1996, Biggie Smalls was killed the next year in 97. So we had rappers, right? Rappers were taking this to a new level, right? So instead of just spitting on a mic, you know, they call it spitting, right? Instead of spitting on a mic, they were really, okay, to get street credibility, they were gunning each other down in the street to show that this didn't a rap game. Even D12, right? Eminem, D12, I think it was Obi Trice. he was rapping about the rap game, and it was a parody. It was actually, he was making fun of rap in this song. It's like, it's bullshit. So this is what photography, the photography content creators are doing. It's like we're the rap genre of the 1990s, right? Calling each other out by name. So I'm waiting for this, right? So I'm waiting for the content creator, right? So here's a content creator on YouTube, and he finishes by doing. I can't even keep a straight face. West Side, right? And you have another content creator in his video with, East Side. I mean, this is how stupid this is becoming, right? So it's laughable. So my thing is, my home of record. I was born and raised in Michigan, in Detroit, but long ago since my home of record is Sarasota, Florida. Right? I want to be like Pitbull. Pitbull's always talking about Miami 305, right? So I'm going to talk about Sarasota 941, right? Sarasota 941. It's stupid. So Florida is in the southeast United States. So I'm gonna make up a new gang symbol, right? Because this is south, right? North and south, southeast Florida, right? You're not the Florida. So this is I'm gonna close every video now with southeast. Southeast, baby. Okay, peace out. Peace. Later. This is stupid.